Here are 10 signs someone is genuinely intelligent, even if they don't realize it. 1. They're comfortable saying, "I don't know." One of the strongest signs of intelligence is the ability to calmly admit uncertainty. While some people panic when they don't have an answer, genuinely smart individuals are oddly relaxed about it. They'll say, "I'm not sure," or "I'd need to look into that," without their ego flaring up. That's not weakness, that's intellectual security. They understand that knowledge is vast, and pretending to know everything is actually a shortcut to stagnation. When someone is comfortable with not knowing, it means they care more about truth than about looking impressive. They don't bluff, they don't ramble, they don't drown you in half-understood jargon. Instead, they leave room for learning. Ironically, the more someone understands the world, the more aware they become of its complexity, and that awareness creates humility, not arrogance. 2. They adapt quickly when plans fall apart. Life rarely respects your calendar. Projects fail, flights get canceled, deals collapse. In those moments, many people spiral emotionally before thinking clearly. But highly intelligent people tend to do something different. They reset. Their brain shifts from frustration to recalibration. Instead of obsessing over what should have happened, they immediately start evaluating what can happen now. This mental flexibility, often called cognitive flexibility, is a powerful marker of intelligence. It allows someone to update beliefs, change strategies, and drop ego attachment to the original plan. They don't waste energy defending outdated ideas. They ask, given the new reality, what's the smartest next move? That ability to pivot without drama keeps them ahead in unpredictable environments. 3. They listen more than they speak. Contrary to popular belief, intelligence is rarely the loudest voice in the room. Genuinely smart people often spend more time observing than broadcasting. While others are waiting for their turn to talk, they're paying attention to tone shifts, word choices, emotional cues, and logical gaps. They treat conversations like information streams. When they finally do speak, it's usually concise and relevant, not because they're shy, but because they processed before responding. Active listening requires focus, restraint, and analysis. It's mentally demanding, and people who do it well often understand situations more accurately than those who dominate discussions. Silence, in their case, isn't emptiness, it's calculation. 4. They see themselves as a work in progress. One of the clearest signs of deep intelligence is believing you can evolve. Smart people rarely see ability as fixed. They don't think, "This is just how I am." Instead, they approach life like ongoing software updates. If they lack a skill, they can build it. If they fail, they extract data from the experience. This growth orientation compounds over time. They change careers when necessary. They learn new tools without feeling embarrassed. They revisit old opinions and adjust them when better evidence appears. Their identity isn't fragile, it's adaptable. And that long-term mindset often matters more than raw talent. 5. They ask questions that shift conversations. Intelligent people don't rush to give impressive answers. Instead, they ask disruptive questions, the kind that make everyone pause. They'll challenge assumptions gently but directly. What problem are we actually solving? Or what are we overlooking here? These aren't performative questions, they're structural ones. By probing deeper layers, they change the direction of thinking rather than just adding noise. They care about root causes, long-term consequences, and hidden variables. Often, the smartest person in the room isn't the one giving the most answers, it's the one reframing the entire discussion with a single well-placed question. 6. Their humor is quick and layered. Wit is one of the underrated signs of intelligence. Crafting clever humor in real time requires fast pattern recognition, strong verbal ability, and social awareness. Genuinely smart people often make subtle jokes, not loud punchlines, but sharp observations that catch everyone slightly off guard. Their humor works because they see connections others miss. They notice contradictions in behavior, irony in systems, and absurdities in everyday life. Turning those insights into a well-timed remark requires mental agility. When someone consistently delivers clever, unexpected humor, you're often watching intelligence operating at high speed. 7. They can argue both sides of an issue. Highly intelligent individuals don't collapse into black and white thinking. They can examine opposing viewpoints without feeling personally attacked. In fact, they're often able to articulate the other side's argument more clearly than the people defending it. This reflects complex reasoning. Holding two conflicting ideas in mind without panic requires mental strength. It shows they value understanding over tribal loyalty. Instead of asking, "How do I win this debate?" they ask, "What makes this issue complicated?" That mental flexibility makes their conclusions stronger, not weaker.
8. They're comfortable with solitude. Many genuinely smart people need time alone, not because they dislike others, but because thinking requires space. Solitude gives them room to process ideas, replay conversations, simulate outcomes, and connect unrelated concepts. Their mind is rarely idle. Alone time becomes a laboratory. They reflect on mistakes, refine strategies, and generate ideas without distraction. While others seek constant stimulation, intelligent individuals often seek clarity, and clarity usually requires quiet. Being comfortable alone signals a rich internal world, one that doesn't depend on constant external validation. 9. They notice patterns early. Pattern recognition sits at the core of intelligence. Some people react to events only after they fully unfold. Smart individuals detect trends while they're still subtle. They notice repeated behaviors in people, recurring flaws in systems, and familiar dynamics in new situations. This doesn't make them psychic, it makes them observant. Their brain constantly asks, "Where have I seen this before?" By linking past experiences to present signals, they anticipate outcomes earlier than others. That foresight often looks like intuition, but it's really structured pattern analysis happening beneath the surface. 10. They reflect on their own thinking. Perhaps the quietest sign of intelligence is metacognition, thinking about your thinking. Genuinely smart people examine their reactions. They ask themselves why something triggered them. They revisit conversations and analyze their own logic, not obsessively, but constructively. This self-auditing process improves decision-making over time. By spotting biases, emotional distortions, and blind spots, they refine how they interpret the world. Many people experience life passively. Intelligent people study it, including their own role within it. And that constant internal refinement sharpens them year after year. But here's the interesting part. Most people who show these signs don't walk around thinking, "I'm highly intelligent." They're too aware of nuance, too conscious of what they don't know, and too focused on improvement. And this might be the most intelligent trait of all. Now, let us know which signs relate to you down in the comments section. And thanks for watching.